Hello students, welcome back. In this module, I am going to teach you about the events leading to the American War of Independence. There were few events which marked the beginning of the American War of Independence, such as the Stem Act in 1765. The British Parliament passed the Stem Act in 1765, which imposed stem taxes on all business transactions in America. This added to the problems of the people of the American colonies. Revenue stems had to be used on all legal documents. The Americans protested violently against the Stem Act and boycotted British goods. The Americans forced the British Parliament to withdraw the stem tax. Although tax on all goods were discontinued, they continued to tax tea. There was widespread opposition to this taxation on tea. On 17 December 1773, the American nationalists protesting against the exorbitant taxation by the British destroyed many boxes of tea of the British ships anchored at the Boston harbor. This incident came to be known as the Boston Tea Party. This incident marked the beginning of the American War of Independence. This is the most important event of the American War of Independence because it sent a signal to the British Parliament that the American colonies would rebel against any effort made to exploit them. In 1774, the representatives of the 13 colonies called the meeting of the First Continental Congress at Philadelphia, called the Philadelphia Congress. The Congress passed the Declaration of Rights and appealed to the King George III, King of England, for the removal of restrictions on trade. The declaration drawn by the representatives asserted that the British Parliament had no right to tax the colonies without their consent. But the British Parliament, instead of withdrawing the taxes, termed this act as an act of rebellion and sent troops to suppress the rebellion. At the Second Continental Congress in 1775, the representatives of the colonists passed a resolution for the formation of an army under the leadership of George Washington and decided to fight for their independence. On 4th July 1776, the colonists announced the Declaration of Independence. This declaration was made by Thomas Jefferson. In 1781, English commander Cornwallis surrendered before George Washington. By the Treaty of Paris in 1783, England recognized the independence of its 13 colonies. Thus came into existence the United States of America, and George Washington became the first president of the USA. Although the war was fought between the American colonies and England, other countries also got involved. France was a major ally to the colonies. It helped the Americans to fight for their freedom. The Statue of Liberty, situated at New York, was gifted by the French to the Americans in July 1776. The date of the American Declaration of Independence is inscribed on it. It is the figure of the Roman goddess of freedom. And now, as we come to the end of the module, I am going to give you some homework. Kindly do this homework in your notebooks. Number 1. What was the STEM Act? Secondly, what is the significance of the Boston Tea Party? Third question is, explain the events that led to the American War of Independence. Fourth, who was the first